What's going on, everybody? Mike McIntyre here from All Things Sports, bringing you a brand new video today. I'm super pumped that you're here. Let's get into my review of the Logitech G29. Let's go. Alright guys, so here we go. First of all, thank you for stopping by. As always, I'm super pumped that you are back here on the channel with a brand new video. For Black Friday, I did an unboxing of the Logitech G29 racing wheel. I have it for the PS4/PC configuration, and I talked about why I picked that wheel up in the unboxing video. So if you are interested in checking that video out before watching this one, be sure to click up in the right hand corner and check out the link to that video. You'll find the unboxing, why I picked it up, the Black Friday deal, and all that. Now, I want to do my first real review of the Logitech G29 and tell you why I think it's still one of the best wheels to pick up, at least for a beginner like me, in 2020. So let's get into the review. So the Logitech G29 has been out for a while. It's not new. They do have a new wheel called the G923 or the G920 out that replaces the G29, and that was meant for the next generation of consoles, the PS5, the Xbox One, and that sort of thing. I don't have a PS5 yet. I'd like to get one, but I don't need one now. Someday, yeah, sure, I'd like to pick up a PS5, but I still have a PS3 and I have a PS4. So the Logitech G29 for me made a lot of sense. I have Gran Turismo 5 for the PS3, and I have a few games that I picked up recently for my PS4. I wanted a wheel that would work with the PS3, the PS4, and if I get the PS5 someday, the G29 was announced to work with the PS5. Sony confirmed via press conference that any of the officially licensed accessories for the PS4 will work with the PS5. So once that was confirmed, for me, it is a no-brainer. Logitech G29, save myself 200 bucks. It'll work with the PS3, PS4, and potentially PS5 someday. So why not get a wheel that has absolutely no difference to the new one and works with all three consoles? So for me, it was a no-brainer. Moving into the setup process, when I first got the wheel, the setup was super easy. You grab the wheel, find a desk, attach it to a desk. You need to make sure that you take the connector to attach the pedals to the wheel. It's cool because there is some sort of unique cable management system going on at the same time, so you can plug the pedals in, wrap the wire around, there's these little channels to feed the wire through, plug the USB port into the PS4, and you are basically set to go. Once you have the wheel on your desk, you'll twist those little knobs to mount down and to make sure that it is securely placed on the desk and it won't slide. Twist those things, lock them in, and you are basically ready to go. This is the PS4 model, like I said, so the controls are quite simple. You have a D-pad over here on the left. You have the classic PlayStation X square, triangle, circle buttons over on the right. You have the R3, R2 buttons on the right-hand side, L2, L3 buttons on the left-hand side. You have a plus and minus button, a back button, and a rotary dial to interact with the game in different ways. And the paddle shifters actually serve a purpose too. They'll help you flip through menus depending on the game you're playing, and they'll just allow you to control everything right from the wheel, so you don't need to use a PS4 controller to operate the in-menu settings of whichever game you're playing. So that is all good. Probably the most important part of this review, you're going to want to know how this thing feels, right? What is it like to use? What is it like to race with? I've had it now about a week or just over a week, and I'm really impressed with it so far. Again, you need to consider what you're spending for this wheel. I'm just getting into sim racing. It's the first wheel that I've ever owned. I'm beginner, not the best driver, that is for sure, and I'm not ashamed to admit it, but it's a beginner wheel, so you need to take that into consideration. And for $300 Canadian, it is a great deal in my opinion. Build quality is fantastic. You have nice leather materials, brushed metal finishes. The buttons feel sturdy. The wheel feels sturdy. The pedals are really nice. Nice spring to it. You have your accelerator, brake, and clutch pedals. So if you do want to use an optional shifter, you have that clutch pedal ready to go should you want to manually control the car's gears. So once you have it going, I've only used this on F1 2020 so far. I do have Cars Project 2 that I have not yet tried, but I will try it eventually. But for now, I've only used F1 2020. I fooled around a little bit with the force feedback settings. I tried to dial it into the best thing. I did a few little searches online as well to see what most people recommended for the G29 and F1 2020. I got it down to what at least feels pretty good for me now, and now I'm getting used to how the wheel feels and everything, and it feels really good. The force feedback is really solid. It will fight your hands back, so you do need to make sure that you're controlling the wheel. It feels quite good through your hands, and I am pretty impressed, again, for what I spent at least, for the way this wheel feels. It feels really good. I really like the feel of the paddle shifters. Very solid clicking feedback, and they just feel good in hand. The buttons are pretty easy to access. I just personally need to get used to you know, interacting with the buttons as I'm driving. Again, I'm brand new to it, so I'm not that good at, you know, hitting whatever controls I need to in terms of the controller buttons on the wheel while I'm driving. So I gotta work on that, but they're all there, they're all within reach, and it'll be very easy to use. The only thing that I will mention that I never saw in any videos before I picked up the G29 is it's a little noisier than I expected. You can hear the gears clicking back at you when you roll over, you know, the curbs, or if there's a bumpy road surface or something like that. It'll make quite a bit of noise, it'll vibrate, and it'll just be a little bit louder than I expected it to be. It's not a bad thing. It's actually quite alerting, if you will. You'll know, like, okay, I'm on the curbs, or I need to get off this surface, or whatever it is. Now again, you can dial those settings back in the menu settings, at least of F1 2020. Other than that, I think it's a great wheel. I'm super happy with it. I'm gonna keep going. I'd love to get some sort of cockpit now to mount the wheel, and again, I think that will be better for dialing in the proper driving position. The pedals won't move on you and that kind of thing. And I just think it'll make it an even more, you know, complete experience with the wheel if you were to have this sort of sim racing cockpit. So fingers crossed that I can get going on that. Hopefully in the next little bit I can get some sort of racing cockpit, at least to start out with, a beginner one, to mount the wheel to and compare what it's like using it just on a basic desk setup versus some sort of racing cockpit. So fingers crossed on that. And other than that, that's all I have to say. I'm super pumped with the Logitech G29. If you're in the situation like me where you have a PS3, a PS4, and you're interested in a PS5, or you have a couple of consoles and you want a wheel that'll work with both, I mean, it's a no-brainer. This also works with a PC. Get the G29. It's $200 less expensive than the G920, the new one, and apparently, according to all the reviews, there's absolutely no difference. So don't get caught up in the new, you know, true motion feedback or whatever they call it on the new one. Every review I've read says it's basically the exact same thing as the force feedback on the G29. Save yourself the money, pick this thing up, and it'll work with a bunch of different consoles. Why not? If you can find a deal for Black Friday, I don't know if they're still going on, but if you can find a Black Friday deal or maybe a Boxing Day deal now, pick up the G29, and I think it's a great beginner wheel. Definitely one of the best ones, and according to all the review sites that I've read, it's right up there at the top for the best beginner wheel, and Logitech is one heck of a company that makes great equipment, so I have absolutely no complaints about it, other than it's a little noisier than I expected, but that's not a big deal. So that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments section. Are you interested in G29? If yes, click the link down below in the description. It'll help the channel out. You could pick one up from that link. It'll help me out. It'll help the channel grow, so please do that. Leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, and of course, hit that subscribe button. I've got a ton of great videos coming. We're going to do some more sim racing videos, so if you're interested, please hit the subscribe button, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Mike McIntyre, All Things Sports, sign out for now. Catch you in the next one. Take care. Peace.